Stand up for your rights. Stand up for your rights. Stand up, stand up. Don't give up the fight. 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 Never give up the fight. Never give up the fight. All right. One more time. I need to lead in. Say it out. Hey everybody, how we doing out there, we'll say? All right. Here we go. This is one of my favorite songs. You guys catch on, you can sing with us in the chorus, all right? There was a man who fought for freedom in South Africa. I can't clear my throat. Today we reveal the name of Nelson Mandela. He led the fight against apartheid until we won. And today South Africa is free. Yes. I said today South Africa is free. Come on. I said today South Africa is free. And his work on earth is done. So Nelson Mandela, we thank you for answering the call. Your life, your work, your spirit has served as an inspiration to us all. There we go. Now y'all can clap with me. There we go. All right, so you guys like that? Yeah, there you go. Everybody starts playing, all of a sudden everybody gets stopped. I get nervous. I want to hear some, yeah, all right, come on, keep it going. Woo!
Middle passage, that third leg of the European slave trade between West Africa and the Americas and the Caribbean.
Across the middle passage, journey of misery. Heavenly Father, bless our ancestors. Divine Mother, children who have crossed the middle passage, heirs to a mighty legacy. Divine Mother, bless our children. Divine Holy One, bless our people. Grant us victory in our struggle, for we will survive the middle passage. We are bonded together in love. Divine Holy One, bless our people. Divine Holy One, bless our people. Grant us victory in our struggle, for we who have survived the middle passage, we are bonded together in love. Divine Holy One, bless our people. We will survive the middle passage.
after service.
And I got it while I'm doing acknowledgments. Acknowledge our new singer too, Sister Ethan. Yes. And her two warrior Watoto, her two sons are in the, here somewhere.
Right there. Good morning, we'll say. Good morning. I'm so blessed this morning to be able to bring you just a little, I'll call it the first installment of our Cuban experience, our trip to Cuba. I have a few pictures, but the topic that the person I want to bring to our knowledge base is a brother by the name of, his actual name is Guillermo Moncada. But his name was embellished, his first name, Guillermo, which is William in English, was embellished to be Guillermo, which means the big Guillermo. So, and I didn't find that out until I was looking online. I'm like, okay, I didn't know that. I know enough Spanish to get in trouble. Next time we go to Cuba, next time I will know more Spanish or have practiced my Spanish because it's in here. I just don't practice it. Anything we know we need to practice to keep it going on. So, this brother. And by the way, I didn't find out he was a brother until we made it to Santiago de Cuba. With our trip, we were only in the country for about 11 days, but the last 4 days of our trip was, we ended up in Santiago de Cuba, and that was the capital of the country of Cuba until 1607, and then Havana became the capital. So, and over 90% of the Cubans in Santiago de Cuba are of African descent, and so we see more rooted, connection to Africa there. But in general, I think all of Baba Sidney and I were very impressed with the African flavor and the way people welcomed us and were impressed that we were from the Estados Unidos, because until we opened our mouths, they didn't know where we were from. Americans here. Yeah. So anyway, so during our trip experience, we did a lot of visiting historical sites and Revolutionary Museum in Havana, and we'd heard about the Moncada, which is actually an old barracks, and it's been around for quite a while. And not knowing that this barracks was named after Guillermo Moncada, when we got there and I saw pictures of him, I was just floored. And so this brother to the right here, that's Guillermo Moncada. So just a little bit about him. He was born in 1840 in Santiago de Cuba, and he, being of African descent and what was going on at that time, and still goes on to some degree, there's, the Africans, the people of African descent weren't being treated right. It's the same story we hear a lot and know of a lot. He spent his youth getting exposed to the situation, the strife and struggle. He was brought up in he was in one of the neighborhoods that was considered one of the worst, and it became an area of constant rebellion. He was a carpenter by trade and started building a home for his parents, but he got pulled away by the first war of rebellion, which was the 10-year war. he was able to achieve a lot as a warrior, fighting against the Spanish, was able to put an end to some of their actions, you know, with directing his the rest of the people that were under his command. He was very persistent in his struggle. He made brilliant interventions in some actions throughout this 10-year struggle in dealing with the coffee estates and the coffee plantations. And this is all going down in the eastern part of Cuba. He fought bravely with another brother, Antonio Maceo, who's another brother. If I had a picture of him, you'd see he's probably predominantly African ancestry. So anytime Baba Sidney and I saw African influence, we were just like, okay, we're excited. So this first struggle was about getting rid of slavery. We weren't able to achieve independence of Cuba from Spain then, or to abolish slavery at that time. But they continued to fight, continued to struggle. He was appointed military chief of that area considered the Orient, or it's the eastern part of the country. And he was a warrior. And in honor of him, I just wanted to make this little piece of dedication. And what you're going to do is go on it forward. And you'll see at this time now, later on, there were attacks of this barracks in later struggles in the Independence War and in the war against that ended up, Cuba achieved that was able to defeat Batista. All of these struggles, they ended up focusing and being, some of them were happening at the Moncada. So,
So I just want to say I actually made that trip and Mama kind of jumped the gun. She got hers done first, so now I'm forced to hurry up and get my historical treatment together. But one of the things that we look for, and I think it comes out of this community, is the African influence in struggle and revolution. And from what we see on this side here in the States, you see Fidel, Raul, Che, Mati, and other white or Spanish people who are in the forefront. And once you got there, you start seeing, especially in Santiago, but also in Havana, when you look at the Revolutionary Museum, there's some brothers there, and we were at the forefront of the revolution, spilling our blood over there. So, all right, this is the school.
And now the Moncada is a school. It houses children, and it takes up a whole block. And Baba Sidney has some lovely photos. He took some of the babies.
As we go, I think it started out, it was a prison, and it also held some government officials. And I believe that they were saying that Raul and Castro were held there at one point,
yes,
when they initially got arrested the first time. So it held a lot of significance, and my brother led the revolution that took it over. It was amazing. Oh, these are some Cuban folks, and this is.
Oh, of course.
Okay. Where Africans at?
Oh.
There was cafe.
Where Africans at? Oh yeah.
Okay. So that's just a little taste. There'll be more to come. And to the legacy and life of Guillermo Moncada. for La Nation.
Good morning, we'll see. This is the time for the litany and sacrifice, and I'm going to need a couple of people on the with the offering basket, and a couple of people at the altar. Looks like we got a volunteer. Sister Jalea steps forward. Y'all probably noticed Brother Sud Ali has joined us and found his way to the keyboards and so much to be thankful for these days, even in the midst of all of the difficulty, all the problems that oftentimes we have individually and as our communities struggle with the various pathologies that do plague our community. So we give thanks for the gift of music and for those who share it willingly and freely. Sister Fania is moving amongst you to offer envelopes and to accept offerings. Mama Pam and Sister Jalea and Sister Dale are at the altar. And while you finalize those offerings, this morning's inspiration reading comes from the book of Hotel. And it's on page 42. And the thing about the living of sacrifice, it is old, it is ancient, it is the means by where people of common heritage pool their resources to build communities, to build schools and neighborhoods. And so it is, after all these years, it's the same process. We need to support ourselves. We need to support our institutions. So page 42 of Lucia, passage number 4. Very insightful and poetic. Hotep says, be diligent as long as you live, always doing more than is commanded of you. Do not misuse your time without following your heart, for it is offensive to the soul to waste one's time. Do not lose the daily opportunity to increase that which you have. Diligence produces gains, and gains do not endure when diligence is developed. So we give thanks for those readings. Thanks for that observation from the great Hotep that offered us many throughout his book. Somewhere in your vicinity there is a binder. On page 15 of that black binder is a copy of the Litany of Sacrifice. I ask that you find that Litany of Sacrifice and please stand. Page 15, the Litany of Sacrifice. While the musicians play, let us read together. Save us, O Holy One, by your name. Vindicate us by your might. Hear my prayer, divine protector. Listen to the words of my mouth. How can we repay the Holy One for the gifts that have been given to us. We will lift up the cup of salvation, call upon God our ancestors. We will fulfill our vows to our Creator in the presence of all our people. Gladly we bring our sacrifices to you. We will praise your name, O Allah, for its good. We will work unity. We shall strive to maintain unity in the family, community, nation, and race.
Self-determination. Self-determination. Create and speak for ourselves.
Jima, collective work and responsibility. We shall build and maintain our communities together. Our brothers and sisters' problems shall be ours to solve together.
Shema, for all this economics. Together we shall build and maintain our own businesses and together profit from them.
Purpose. We shall make our collective vocation the building and development of our community and the restoration of our people to our traditional greatness.
Creativity. We shall do as much as we can in any way we can to build our communities more beautiful and beneficial than we
Let's read together. Imani, faith. We shall believe with all our hearts in our Creator, our people, and the righteousness and victory of our struggles. Amen. We have kneeling pads that have been laid at the front of the altar. And the candles of the Bujo's album continue to be lit. And Mr. Greg continue to supply us with some wonderful music this morning. Those of you that wish to come to the front, you may do so, otherwise assume the comfortable position at your chair. I will take a few moments to bless these sacrifices. Holy One, again, we come ever grateful and ever thankful for the opportunity to work and to be a part of this Osei community. We thank you for placing us in this work because it is a most noble work. We ask, O Holy One, that you bless each and every one that gave this morning and those that perhaps wanted to give but did not have to give. We ask blessings as well, Lord. We ask that you allow these blessings to grow and to multiply, and we may expand our work here, and we may move forward and be a more positive influence in the lives of our people as we strive to restore ourselves and to build community. Holy One, we thank you for each and every one that came out this morning. Those that could have utilized their time in any number of different ways, but chose to come and to participate and to share their life force and their energy here at the Osei community this morning. And we thank you, Holy One. We ask that you be with us throughout the remainder of the day. We ask that you bless the one that will come with a word of encouragement, a word of hope. We ask that you continue to bless us on this day and days to come. These blessings we ask in remembrance of ancestors that sacrificed and gave so much, but yet left us a great heritage, left a great footprint on the world stage, and served as guideposts that we may find our way a little better, a little easier through the fall of life. Again, Lord, we just thank you for our lives. We thank you for this refuge, this place called Osei, that we can play our drums and sing songs of praises to our ancestors. We're afraid and unbelievers. Again, be with us and share our love. The music's been good, so if you guys want to play.
Creator has a message plan? Yeah. You got any Stones want to sing with me?
Not, you know.
Little background, make it a little background.
Free Ali.
Still riding that music. Wow. I'm at Rock Hotel. Life, prosperity, and health. Give thanks for this opportunity to hear some music, play some music, say an encouraging word, have a word of prayer, a little meditation, see our children dance. It's a blessing. I say, look around the room, just look at the blessings. You see that, y'all? The blessings are in the room. Okay? Beautiful. To give us life and life abundantly. We give thanks to the ancestors who precede us on this earth. Ancestors came here to do their job, and they did what they came to do. And they challenge us with their example. Not just their words, but their deeds on how to live a good life. Our ancestors challenge us with their wisdom on how to live a rich life. Living a rich life doesn't have anything to do with how much money you have, what kind of car you drive, what kind of clothes you wear. The rich life has something to do with your heart, your spirit. That sparkle in your eye when you see someone that you know or if you don't know. That friendliness, that African smile, Ashe. Because black people, as African people, we have learned how to smile through a lot of different situations. Even when we didn't feel like smiling, we knew intrinsically that smiling is healthy. That if you have a joke or a little humor, even in a hard situation, maybe, just maybe, you can work your way through it. The ancestors understood the power of persistence, of doing something well. To do something well, you often have to do it over and over and over before you get it right. If you're an athlete, you know that to be true. When you were growing up, you played sports. If you play sports now, you know that you have to practice. And a few years ago, famous basketball player Allen Iverson played for the Philadelphia 76ers. Missed practice and got fined by the coach and got talked about. And then we had a press conference. It was a famous press conference for the athletes, the sports fans. Y'all, you laughing already? He said, practice. We ain't talking about the game. We talking about practice. He said practice about 35 times in that press conference. But yeah, Alan, practice. You gotta practice.
Come on.
You gotta practice your thinking. You gotta practice your speech. You gotta practice your doing. Ashe. But to get my aunt right, to get true justice and harmony right, you gotta practice. It don't just come to you. You might know what to do, but you now gotta do it. Ashe. We give thanks to our elders for teaching us how to be who we are. All of us probably had some elder, someone in our lives, whether it's a parent, a teacher, a coach, a mentor, someone who tried to share with us the right way to do things. Because there's a right way and a wrong way to do everything. The right way to wash your car. There's a right way to do your hair. There's a right way to talk to people. There's a right way to give. Even when you give something, there's a right way to do it. Ashe. We thank our elders and give all of the elders in our lives a round of applause. I want you to find a Hosea. There should be Hoseas out on the chairs if you don't have your own. The Hosea is a translation, one of the translations of the writings of the African way. We're engaged in African traditional practice here. We ground ourselves in Africa. We ground ourselves in the best of Africa. Our ancestors who left us a record, our ancestors who left us a way of doing things in the Nile Valley were profound. They laid an example for how to think might, speak might, do might. They laid an example of how to live life, and we give thanks for them. And their influence spread throughout the continent, through the Congo and the Zambezi, through the Senegalese and Senegambia region. All over Africa, there is, Sheikh Anta Diop taught us, there is a cultural unity of Africa. So we don't have to get confused when we say that we're an African traditional community. Because we bring it from the Nile Valley, we learn our language, we look at the text, we look at our symbols, but that's not the only information about who we are and how we can best be people of God.
Teach good.
That we have so many sources. That's the blessing of being African. You got a wide continent. You have a diaspora where people move throughout the world, leaving traces of mine. In this spring season, I'm going to invite you to do some spring cleaning. Invite you to do some spiritual spring cleaning. And this morning we want to look at the example of a person who lived in the 19th dynasty. Interestingly, when I started researching this, on page, if you turn to page 96 in your Hosea, you see it on passage number 7, page 96. And Karinga, interestingly, either had a typo or the translation wasn't quite right, because the person whose name appears in the Hosea, when I looked at other sources, it wasn't quite right. He was off by one letter. So his name is not Neferu, but it's Necheru. And those of you who see, you say because you know the language. If you say Neferu is the Lord or the overseer of the beautiful. But when you say Necheru, it's the Lord of the Netchers. It's the person, he was a prophet. He was the everything of the Netchers, because he related to those divine principles and power, what our Ifa cousins call the Orisha. What others call in another system named Kisi. What you might call, if you were from the South, your grandmama and them. But it was about the Netchers, that divine energy in us that's a prototype for how we should live. When you look at Heru, if you look at Shango, if you look at Aset, if you look at Ea, any of these, the point of these stories, the narratives, the teachings is, how can you pattern your life after them in their good qualities? Well, Necheru was a prophet of Amun-Ra. And a prophet is someone who sees who foretells the things that will come to pass. Who gives the wisdom that's going to be important for future days. One source says that he was the grandson of Ptahhotep. And some of y'all know who Ptahhotep is. He was a great teacher, vizier, advisor to the pharaoh, mayor of his town. Well, Necheru may have been in the same family. And we use that phrase, the fruit doesn't fall too far from the tree. If your parents or grandparents taught you well, people can know your grandparents by knowing you.
Thank you.
Ashe? Sometimes it happens at funeral services and memorials, and you hear stories about people you had not heard until that day, and then you start realizing how much they were like other people in the family. Well, Necheru was probably the grandson of another great wise thinker, but he came much later. He came in the 19th dynasty. And in the autobiographical preface to what he says in the full text, because Karinga only gives us a little part of it, Karinga assumes that you're going to go out and study on your own.
All right now.
So he's giving you a spiritual teaser. He's giving you a spiritual trailer.
All right now.
When they show the movies, they don't show you the whole movie on the advertising box. They show you a little bit of the movie.
Come on now, come on.
To get your interest. To see if it's going to pique your interest. To see if it's going to make you want to study or go to the movie. See, Karinga giving you a little teaser, hoping that you're going to study and look at other sources. Because we have a motto at Wose. We haven't used it a whole lot lately. We say work, study, fellowship, and prayer. Work, study, fellowship, and prayer. Well, Necheru, in his autobiographical preface to this passage, he says, my concern was for the house of God. So he took the time to have somebody write this out, and it comes down to us 2,000 years later to let us know that his concern was for spiritual things. His concern was for the house of life. His concern, if he lived here, his concern would be for Wose. He was the son of a mayor, but that wasn't as important as his concern for God. And the things that were God-like. He was the royal secretary, but his concern was for the house of God. He was a member of this leading Wose family, but his concern was for the house of God. He was a person who lived to the age of 96. And in those days, 96 years old anytime. That's for a brother, it's a long time. Because we don't necessarily do the most healthy thing. But he lived to be 96, and in his autobiographical piece, he says, being healthy and without illness. So he said, I was 96 and I was healthy. Ashe. And it probably had something to do with his concern was for the house of God. Because anytime you make God your primary concern, God will take care of you.
Yes.
If you take care of spiritual things, material things will fall in place. He said, if one desires the length of my life, one must praise God for another person in my name. So he said his key to longevity was worshiping God in the name of others. It meant pray for your brothers and sisters. Work for your brothers and sisters. I got a blessing this morning on the way over here. I was at the corner of Bancroft and 73rd. And I saw a brother sitting there, and I knew he was panhandling, as they call it. But he didn't say anything to me. He didn't approach my car. He didn't try to get my eye. And I know how we do. You avoid eye contact so you don't have to deal with the uncomfortable. We have brothers and sisters on the street that are living lives that are much harder than ours, and sometimes we won't even give them a look because we think and know they may ask us for something. And I have to say, I'm guilty of that this morning. I was trying to hurry up and get here. It was 10:20, and I need to be here a little earlier than that. And I was not paying attention, and I thought about it, and I said, but why am I going to Wozak? Why am I headed to the house of God? Why am I headed to fellowship with my brothers and sisters? This matter is more important than that. And for the little gifts that I gave him, I got the blessing. So he came up to my car and said, God bless you, brother. He put the blessing on me. He said, I want to bless your day. I want to make sure you have a good day. For that little coin I gave him, he blessed me by just using the word, God bless you, brother. See, you don't know where the blessing going to come from. You don't know how God's going to bless you. You never know who has been sent to be at that place at that time to give you a message from God. You don't know. They might be dressed in a booth or they might be dressed in rags. They may be black as coal or they may be white as what. You don't know where your blessing's coming from, So we got to do a little spring cleaning. Because if your house is the house of God, if your physical house where you live, if your physical body is God's house, be like Neb Necheru, let your concern be the house of God. Take care of let's do some spring cleaning inside here. Inside this house. Not this physical space is going to be fine. But what about your house, your temple? Where God dwells in you. Is your house clean this morning? Let's read this passage together and see if we can find some advice from Neb Necheru. He says this. Let's read it together. I live on earth as one who gave guidance in work to the unaware, who instructed the craftsman by the rule, who knew what to say when speaking in the palace, who erased wrong in every situation, who pleased God with cleansing. I spoke to the people in a manner they liked and judged everyone according to their character, giving attention to what they wished. May the Most High add a blessing to the reading and, more importantly, the understanding of beautiful speech. Spring cleaning. It's a natural inclination. We do a lot of things in the spring. We spring forward with our clocks. We spring into action when it's time to do something. But spring, this season, is naturally situated for us to make cleaning a priority. Some people do it in their house. They immediately do something to make sure their homes are clean. We get rid of all the old stuff that's crowding our house. Sometimes we do it with our car. Some of us ride around with stuff in our trunk. You don't even know what it is. It's just back there, right? Spring cleaning is getting out the old, dusty things so we can make space for the new. Cleaning the spaces allows that newness to come in. I was in my yard yesterday and the deer was out helping me. We were in the yard and, there's a lot of things going on in the yard. If you haven't been out there all winter, a lot of stuff is going on. Leaves from the fall still on the ground. Things that got thrown into the backyard by, unknown individuals. Still in the backyard. In the yard, you know, you sort of look at all of what's going on, and there's dead things that need to be cleaned out occasionally. I noticed along the fence line on the side of my house in the back, there was a bush that had grown to be 6, almost 7 feet tall, but the bush had died. Everything else around is budding new leaves, but it was clear that this bush was dead. That there's no amount of watering, no amount of fertilizer, no amount of praying was going to bring this bush back. Even trees have a longevity. Trees die. They have a certain amount of time. Even the oldest trees, when they're done, they die. It's a lesson in there.
Yes, it is.
Well, that dead bush wasn't just dead, but it had grown to a certain height that it was actually interfering with the growth of another plant. Back in 1998, when I got ordained as a minister in this community, Calvin Moore gave me a sycamore tree, because sycamore trees have a special significance in Kemet. It's used in a lot of the stories, and the tree was probably about this tall. The tree is now 40 feet tall.
Wow.
It's a big tree. Matter of fact, it's so big it's putting shade on too much of my yard. Because I still want my little garden space, right? I'm about to have to say something. But it's interesting when I look up and I see that this dead bush had been growing on one side of the tree, and it made the sycamore tree grow to the left. And it's not that side of the tree is not as full, it's not as round, it's not as symmetrical as the rest of the tree. And it occurred to me yesterday when I'm in there with a saw cutting up this dead bush and pulling it out, I said, in order for the sycamore to grow properly, this dead thing needs to be gone. In order for you to grow properly, there's some dead things that need to be gone. There's some old ideas that need to be extinguished. There's some old habits that need to be done away with. There's some old ways of doing things that you need to get rid of in order for you to grow. We can't grow if dead things are taking up space.
That's right.
Spring clean. What does it mean in your life to spring clean? To think about what are your study habits. If you're a student, maybe you're smart and you feel like you don't have to study that hard. But see, in a minute, when you get to high school or college, you got to develop a different study habit. Because when I grew up, I went to a little small high school, and I was, second in my high school class graduating. I thought I was all that. I get to Northwestern, and it's like, no, you are not all that. You are some of that. You are a little bit of that. Well, up in here, there's some other big fish. And relatively speaking, you ain't a big fish, bro. So you might want to learn how to study. You might want to learn how to crack a book more than an hour a night, Ashay. You might want to learn how to get a study group around you. Sometimes in spiritual practice, you need some people that they studying too. Together. You can't do it by yourself. So when you're smart, quote unquote, you think you can do it by yourself. They put you down here to be by yourself. Your family, your community, your relation put you in wild, whatever the thing is, right? Sometimes you gotta be with other people. Iron sharpen iron.
Well, come on.
If you want to be sharp, put sharp people around you. Good athlete, you put good athletes around you. You know, you help bring your game up. I say. We got to do spring cleaning. Get rid of the bush. Whatever it is that you have from being what God intended you to be, get rid of it. If you don't do that, you're doing dishonor to the Most High. God needs you to be you. God needs you to be you 100%. And I like that phrase. It sounds real honest, 100%. 100%. I don't know if you're 100% African. 100% human being. 100% compassionate. 100% big soul. 100%. 100%. 100%. Come on with it. You gotta live your life 100%. And in order to live 100%, holding you back.
That's right.
You can't have that junk in your trunk. You can't have that bitch that's holding you back from doing what you do. And only you know what's dead in your life.
That's right.
Stop waiting for somebody else to tell you. They'll tell you stuff, but it may be right, it may not be right. The thing that's good about you, they may be jealous and be trying to... So they can say, see? I say. The text says, the first he says, I live, if you stop right there, he said, I live on earth.
Right.
We are all on the planet. And you better take full advantage of it. Because the next you might come in a form that's different
Right.
and have a little less opportunity to exercise free will. The drum the next time, Bobby City. Play you. That drum won't play itself. You may come back as a rock. You holler some beautiful thing out of you. You sitting there waiting.
Right. It's good.
You don't know how you gonna come back. You better get it in now.
100%.
It says I had a beautiful conversation with Robert Thornton. Robert was on his last day. And one of the things Robert and I, we got into this conversation about spiritual things. Because the physical is past, it's temporal. The physical is here today, gone tomorrow. The physical feel good on Monday and be sore on Wednesday.
Come on.
And on Friday, you don't know what might be happening with your body.
Well,
Ashe, we getting older. See, y'all young people don't know. The older ones like, you wake up hurting. You don't know what happened. You wake up hurting. Something different hurting. Right? You better get it in. He said, I live on earth. And Robert, we got to talking, and I said to him, you want to talk about the spiritual life, or you want to talk about the life of the mind or the life of the body? Body, you as you and the doctors. The material life, that's you and your family. Gonna talk about what needs to happen if you make your exit. But let's talk about your spiritual life. Where you want to be in the next life, how you want to live. And when I came back to the next conversation with Robert said something real profound to me. He said, Bob Greg, I appreciate what you said to me, but this is the only planet I know. He said, it's the only place I know right now. And I'm just trying to be here. See, this earth, when you leave in here, you start missing stuff. When you leave in here, you have the things you might have taken for granted.
Right.
They come into plain view now.
Thank you.
He says, 2,000, 3,000 years ago, he says, I live on earth. That's his context. And then he says, as one who gave guidance in work to the unaware. Guidance in work to the unaware. That he gave advice, work, the work of life, the work of things that need to happen to the unaware. We got a lot of people around us that are unaware. They're unaware of their Africanity, they're unaware of their spiritual nature, they're unaware of their social connection. If you know something, you're supposed to teach something, Ashe. It says he gave guidance in work to the unaware. Instructed the craftsman by the rule being the rule of my eye. The idea of balance and order and harmony, reciprocity, and the things that make things balanced in life. And then he gives some examples that would help us in our spring cleaning. Sometimes we say things that we shouldn't say. And we ought to be able to clean that up at some point. But he says, I knew what to say when speaking. Now he says in the palace, in the big house, but I would imagine he would agree that he knew what to say when speaking on the street. He knew what to say when speaking in the classroom. He knew what to say when speaking in any situation. He knew what to say. And he erased wrong in every situation. He did some spring cleaning in every situation. He erased every wrong as much as he could. And then it says he pleased God with cleansing. So spring cleaning is a spiritual matter. God will be happy with us if we clean things out so that we can accept the new things. He spoke to people in a manner that they liked. And I take from that he told the truth, because people like it when you tell the truth. Ultimately, they like it. Now, they might not like it on the first impression.
Right.
But if it was true and they thought about it and it sits in, they're going to really like it at some point. We got to clean up. Clean out the old. Clear out the old and be ready for the new. There's a story I want to tell. I didn't make it up.
Who did?
Once upon a time, there was a lion. And the lion had got old. When the lion was young, he was a good hunter. And he knew how to find food in the forest and was able to move around. Eat every day that he needed to eat. It wasn't no thing. But when he got older, he couldn't run as fast. Somebody say I should. He couldn't run as fast. And when he got older, he didn't see quite as good. Can I get out? And his balance was a little off. And when he bumped into things, he hurt himself. But the lion still had to eat every day. So he thought about it, and he came up with distorted plan. He said, well, I got a lot of friends that are smaller than me. I think I'm going to have to start eating my friends. And he had a plan. He said, I'm going to invite them to come over for dinner. And they're going to be dinner. So he called the first brother Beaver. He said, Brother Beaver, you want to come over to the house and have dinner with me tonight? And Beaver was a little skeptical. He said, hey, Lion, what we have? Oh, it's going to be good. It's going to be tasty. And Beaver said, yeah, I'll be over at 6 o'clock. Beaver tracked into the house. Lion said, hey, have a seat. Welcome to dinner. He gobbled him up. 2 days later, he sees Brother Antelope. He said, Brother Antelope, man, you gotta come over. We need to sit. We ain't broke bread in a long time, Bob. We need to come sit and talk, and it's gonna be nice. We're gonna have dinner. Just come over. He said, what time? He said, 6 o'clock. He showed up at 6 o'clock. He said, hey, sit down for dinner. Gobbled him up. Now this went on. 4 or 5 different animals came to the house. They came in, gobbled him up. One day he saw Brer Rabbit. And Brer Rabbit, he said, Brer Rabbit, hey, bro. Man, we ain't sat and talked a long time. You should come over for dinner. Brer Rabbit said, what time? He said, 6 o'clock. Brer Rabbit showed up about 5:45. He tried to be early for dinner. He won't miss nothing. And before the lion came out, he noticed something. He looked on the ground. He said, Beaver tracks. Wow, Beaver tracks going in. I see no Beaver tracks coming out. Man, antelope tracks going in. I see no tracks coming out. So I said, oh, lot of tracks going in. No tracks coming out. Lion coming out. I said, brother Brer Rabbit, come on, man, we're gonna have dinner. He said, hey, bro, you know what? Brother Lion, well, you know, I'm gonna take a rain check because I think it's too crowded up in here for me. I see all these tracks going in. I don't see nobody coming out later. 100%. Moral of the story: your spiritual house gets crowded with stuff. How the good gonna come in? The thing you've been praying for, whatever the thing is, how's it gonna come in if your house is full of dead stuff? Of stuff that you can't use no more. Of ideas that you have outlived. Ashe? The brother, he said, I live on earth as one who gave guidance and work to the unaware. Spring clean. Give guidance to our children. Give guidance to our parents. A lot of parents out here don't even know how to be parents. Ashe? Help them. They are unaware. Spring clean. Study what you need to study so you can be better. Spring clean. Fellowship authentically. Don't fellowship with folks just because you're supposed to. Fellowship because you want to.
That's right.
Spring clean. Pray with sincerity. Express to the Most High what you need, what you're thankful for, and stop. All that other extra stuff, God don't need all that. God 100%. Don't need all that. Sometimes we start with a whole lot of other stuff. Be to the point. I'm sure the Most High is like, get to the point. Get to the point. I already know all that background. Get to the point. Spring clean. Think my eye. Stop thinking thoughts that don't help you. Stop thinking thoughts that aren't harmonious with your spirit. Even before you think it, crush that bad thought. Be like that lion. Gobble that one up. Let that one go. Ashe. Clean up. Speak truth. Don't say what you think people want to hear. Say what the truth is. Ashe. Clean up. Do mine. In all your doings, be of good cheer. In all your doings, have a pure heart. In all your doings, do it for the right reason. For the highest purpose. For the best of who you are. Ashe. As we stand, if you will. As we welcome you into this community, if you have not joined us in this work formally, we open it up. If there's someone here who wants to join us in this work, the door is open. It's good to see Mama Ife Tayo. Good to see you, young men. How y'all doing? Yeah. Get y'all in here. Good to see Brother Damu. Good to see everybody.
Yeah, everybody.
Nice shirt. Good to see everybody. That's right. All right.
Before we close, any announcements for the week? Anything happening Eli Elmer Day we need to be aware of? Anything in the broader community?
Oh my goodness, there's so much happening at Eli Elmer Day.
Well, this week.
Eli Elmer Day, if some of you don't know, there's a yellow check back there. I don't know if this
We noticed
is
that big check.
That's one. The casino night is coming up. That's May the 10th. It's a Mother's Day weekend. So, it's a great opportunity for those of you who have been there. Last year we had a blast. And it's promising to be even better and bigger and more exciting than it was last year. So, get tickets from parents.
Yes.
Right?
Oh,
Parents.
I forgot about you.
Yeah.
I have tickets.
Excuse me, administration.
Right.
Okay, you need tickets, I got them. We'd like for you to buy at least 2 tickets, but if you can't, buy one. And come on out and support our school. Next week is spring break, not this week, but the following week is spring break. And the college tour. Our children are headed to Atlanta. And on the Black College tour, it's very exciting. They worked it themselves. They got the right hotels. They did the mileage for renting cars. They know how much they need to spend on a daily basis. They did all of the work so they could appreciate the trip. So pray with them, for their safe passage. And what else? That's about it for right now. But look in your emails. We'll be sending you notices about up and coming events.
All right. Cool.
I have one quick announcement. Thanks to Sister Ifeitayo, the Stones of Fire, God's musical messengers from the Vose community, are singing this Wednesday at Berkeley City College at 12 noon. Yeah, so if you're available, it's free, right? It's a free event.
It's free, and it's part of a series of celebrations, cultural celebrations. Okodogon is producing the events. That's the company my husband and I have. And so Wednesday will be the Stones of Fire during the lunch hour in the atrium at Berkeley City College. And we'd love it if anybody could come by on Tuesday because Brother Chaz Walker and the Peaceful Vibes, our musical group, will be performing at the same time. And then there will be additional performances at the end of April and into May, all to celebrate African and African American culture and traditions.
That's great.
I have one. I want to say that at the East Side Art Center on International, on the 11th, there's going to be a huge celebration memorial for Amir Baraka, and I'm going to be giving a tribute there. And also, I don't know if Sister Tracy has announced this, but beginning this week on Thursday here at Wose, there will be a book discussion group starting. There will be 6 sessions of that, and I have it all outlined there. But it's going to be the Altar of My Soul, The Living Traditions of Santeria by Marta Moreno Vega, and I'll be leading that group. So it'll be start at 6 o'clock here. Book discussion, so you can get.
One last little announcement. Those of you who want to make sure you get this e-bite from me, if I don't have your email, please give it to me. But the Village Connect organization, what we've been doing this year is doing friend-raisers. They're fundraisers, but they're to get the word out about what we're about at Village Connect. Those of you who were here that were able to meet Galen Logan, he is the CEO of the organization and executive director. But anyway, so we've been doing this friend-raisers, and I hosted the first one in February. We have one of our other board members is doing one this next Saturday, the 12th at 1 p.m. So it'll go from 1 to 2:30, and I'll be sending out some evites to let everybody know who's able to come. I know we're all busy, but it'll be an insight to what we do at Village Connect and how you can plug in, how you want to help, if you can help, who you know, that kind of thing. So.
There is, the whole community is invited to share information, updates, their insight on events, and just send it via email to blogs@wosecommunity.org, and we'll all be able to enjoy that from the blog menu on the WOSE website. And then also, there's a lot of calendared information that Sister Afua put out with her blast. You all should have gotten a blast from Sister Afua. Those who want it, not everybody wants a blast, but those who want it should have it. If you want to be, put in the loop, just let Sister Afua know. You'll get a monthly blast from her. But in most all the events that she has is on the WOSE. If you go to the calendar section on the WOSE website, you'll see all her events there too.
Cool. All right.
Okay, and I guess maybe I'm the last person, but anyone interested in WOSE t-shirts, you can see me today after services. I have a few with me, and I'll be taking new orders, so you can see me after services.
Cool. Thank you. Lift every voice and sing.
Every voice and sing, till earth and heaven ring with the harmony of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the skies, let it resound loud as a roaring sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us, facing the rising sun of a new day begun. Let us march on till victory is won.
Now to the ones who are able to keep us from falling, the ones who have taught us for countless generations that we are one people, having one faith, one aim, one destiny, one love, one God. Let us all say that name that our ancestors have taught us for countless generations. Let us all say, Amen. You are the most beautiful people on the face of this earth. Birthday this week.
Alana, the little one. Curtis.
2 years old.
All right. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.